I will tell you a wonderful story, simple one. It happened to me a year ago, around the corner here in the bookstore. I was signing a book of mine. Two black guys asked me to sign a book, and seeing them there, I couldn't resist the worst racist remark. When I was returning the books to them, I told them, now, I don't know which one is for whom, you blacks like yellow guys, you look all the same. They embraced me and they told me, you can call me nigger.
My racist friend asked me if I did a podcast because he spotted the microphone and he was like, "Oh, what's that for then? What have you got? What have you got a microphone for?" Yeah. And I was like, "I do a podcast," and he's like, "Oh,
your friend's constantly offended by everything you do preemptively."
I've been speaking about us doing a podcast for ages, and you're doing this other podcast. What's it called then?"
Oh my god, do a podcast with this other guy, please.
And I was like, I didn't really want to tell him. He's like, "It's fun. I'm not going to watch it. Just tell me. You might as well just tell me anyway. Well, it's cool."
Okay, sure.
I was like, if he listens to the podcast and hears me calling him my racist friend and sharing his racist,
yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
No, I mean, it'd be funny if he heard that and thought you were referring to one of your other friends.
So yeah. Yeah.
Dylan, I didn't know you had a racist friend. Who is this bloke?
One of those woke racists. I didn't realise you had an anti-white friend.
No, so yeah, good stuff, Dylan. And that's the last we're going to hear of racism on this podcast. But
yeah, it seems so.
Racism-free zone, this,
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see? Oh, by the way, Luke, were you confused why I posted the just the word hook nose in the?
Yes.
So I was saying to Dylan that I came up with a plan of like making a Jewish neighborhood in The Sims 2, because I realized first of all I realized you can make Sims into vampires, and I was like, that's good because they're blood.
And so the next step is like Jewish people.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And also like
even worse than vampires.
There's like a machine that just prints money, so I was like, I could just have a family of Jews who just print money. So I was coming up with names, and
yeah, I wonder if the new Sims movie. I wonder if that could be a storyline.
There is Sims movie.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Oh, and here's the Bergsteins. Yeah. What do they do in the Sims?
They're just because they it's really good because as they do it, they cackle while the Sims do it. Like that. Anyways, so basically I tried to come up with a name, and I came up with what if there was a family with a double-barreled name, and it was because obviously there's Hook, so I think you have Captain Hook. The thing is, I realized that's not really a Jewish name, but they could be one of those I guess they're called good goys, who aren't Jewish but they simp for Israel.
Yeah.
So and double-barreled surname Stephen Yaxley Lennon, he's got a double-barreled surname, and he simps for Israel. So that they can give him. I don't think there's they haven't introduced a mechanic in Sims where you could give someone mountains of coke in return for political favors, but
maybe one day. One day. Anyway,
maybe one day.
I think it's going to be good to get into what we're going to be doing today right now.
Yeah, good.
I am going to share my screen.
Oh, God.
People will be able to see what we're doing on my screen because that's how it works.
I definitely just coughed, and there's no way you're going to be able to cut. In fact, you know what? I will just for you, Luke. I will mute that.
HRAYQ.
How racist are your quiz? How racist are you quiz?
How did you get that right off the bat?
I just we've been I think racism has been mentioned. Someone was saying something about how they thought the white women weren't sexy.
Okay, well, you know what? Anyway, can you just forget you said that, Michael?
I'm going for a 0 out of 10. That's what I'm trying to go for. That's my goal.
This isn't even my topic.
No, he means getting a score of 0 in terms of how racist he is.
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for.
Let's get into it then.
Yeah, it should be said we are all white people, so already we're pretty racist.
Are all
you're already on quite a high score just for being white.
Exactly. Yeah, just for being white, because that's what they say, isn't it? Nowadays, if you just say you're English, then you're racist. That's how it works.
Okay.
Might as well just throw me in prison,
Right.
So
let's go on to.
Okay.
No, sorry, Dylan. I'm just trying to move things on.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Proceed, Luke. Luke, you have the floor.
You do this a lot, Dylan, where you just say words and nothing actually comes out of your mouth, and you just you fucking speak or don't speak at all. It's really annoying to have to edit that.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it?
I'm sorry. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say, I can't remember what I was going to say. It was obviously very important.
He's doing it again.
What a surprise! Right,
That's it. I go on
we-
about how Keir Starmer is a Nazi, and because he's anti-white, and he wants to put all white people in prison, and put all migrant people in a luxury hotel.
I want to hear more of what Luke has to say.
Yes, right. That's really original, Dylan. Keep it up. So now we will get on to what we are
don't
going
believe in
to
that
do
either.
today.
Just-
And Dylan still is talking over me. The next slide will just add a bit of context and forget you know what we're doing. You know,
Well,
but forget that.
okay, I'll forget that.
So Dylan, will you read this out, please?
Yes.
Right. So go on, Dylan.
Right, listening, everybody. Firstly, a bit of context. Martin Luther King Day, Junior Day. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, celebrated annually on the third Monday of January, honours the life and legacy of Dr. King, who dedicated his life to fighting racism. This day serves as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for racial equality, as Dr. King's dream of a society where people are judged by the content of their character, by the content of their character, rather than the colour of their skin, remains an important goal. Racism continues to be a pervasive issue in many parts of the world, including the US. I was like, including us. Not really. Dr. King's work serves as an inspiration for continued efforts to combat all forms of racism. But the question is, has it worked?
Yeah, you're definitely going to get the role in the play with that delivery. Dylan.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's just singing, so I should be okay.
Okay.
Wait, Homer, does he not have any lines of dialogue?
I don't speak Egyptian very well.
Okay. I mean, that, yeah, okay, fine.
And I nearly swallowed some water.
I think Luke's dead. See, now Luke's going to have a cough.
Oh god. Right. So that's the context. Now forget what
Cool.
you know.
I
So
know.
Dylan,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, just read out the next slide while I continue coughing.
Right. How racist are you? You will be presented with 10 questions about various races. Let's see if you know these facts about various racial stereotypes. If you know these facts, it'll prove Dr. King has failed. However, there will be a cash prize for the most racist of you, but also shame. Oh, that's fun. Also, Dylan and Michael can't pick the same answer, and the answers will be revealed after the quiz.
Okie
So I'm
dokie.
imagining that we'll be alternating who goes first and second to...
No, it's always going to be me going first.
Yeah. Sorry, Dylan.
Because I have a
It's,
disadvantage. Because
You've got the privilege.
I'm a cosmopolitan middle class person, whereas Dylan's scummy.
Dylan is scum of the earth.
Yeah, Dylan's part of the aspirational northern class. Because he's northern, but he went to a private school.
Okay, right.
His mum was like, Keir Starmer wants to stop struggling mums like me from giving our kids... Which means that Dylan's guaranteed to be racist.
Love how everything is
Oh,
Keir
God, yeah,
Starmer's
Dylan,
fault
you'd be one of the
nowadays.
kids who couldn't go to private school. wasn't
Exactly. Like, you literally
Keir
would
Starmer's
be.
proposal.
I would, yeah, I would. And it's all Keir's fault.
That's funny. Right, so yeah, obviously because it's Martin Luther King Day, which
Yes.
is coming up soon, we're going to see how racist are you, has Dr. King's work, succeeded, or indeed are you still racist by knowing about these facts? But and you might be like, well, I don't want to be racist, so I'm going to get these questions wrong. But again, there is a cash prize.
I don't believe in getting things wrong on purpose.
Go.
I'd be hopeful to get the questions wrong, but I'm not going to intentionally get them wrong. Let's put it that way.
Okay, that's
absolutely,
that's
yeah.
good.
I believe
So
in
you
integrity.
just get them wrong the usual way.
I'll just get them wrong by not knowing them, not by choosing to be wrong. That's it.
Yes. Let's go on to the first question, Dylan. If you will read out the questions and the options, please.
Let's go for it. Not that. There we go. How racist are you? Question 1 of 10. Question. How many African Americans have used crack cocaine in the United States? Is it A, 4 million, B, 3 million, C, 2 million, or D, 1 million?
Yeah, by the way, so Michael will be answering this question first.
Okie
Michael?
dokie.
Sorry, other way around. Dylan will be answering this one
Oh,
first.
I see.
Okay.
Easy mistake to make.
Go on, Dylan.
What I'm going to do is, in the hope of being wrong, I'm going to go for the highest number, just because it'd be like, oh, good, it's not that high a number. So I'm going to go for 4 million. I hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
So it's
No,
like,
just
oh, good, it's
actually
not.
guess what you think the answer could be.
Good, it's not 4 million. So I'm glad I'm wrong. It's actually not as high the number that I think that I said it was. So yeah, I'm going for 4 million. Though.
Dylan, just don't play any games. Just guess what you think.
Apart from the game we're actually playing now.
Well,
Okay,
also,
that's
bear
fine.
in mind, I would like it on the record, I have literally no concept. Like, if you would have put 10 million on there, I'd be like, oh, yeah, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
I have
to be
no
fair,
idea of how many, like, this means nothing to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could have put 50 million, I'd be like, oh, there are that many black people?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If 50 million was an option, I'd probably go for it. We need to know how many prisoners there are in America.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, no,
yeah.
not
like,
prisoners.
Because there's a lot. Like, to be honest, like,
you're racist, Dylan.
like 4 million still seems kind of low to me. So, like, I'm probably going to go 4 if Dylan doesn't.
Okay, so what was Dylan's guess?
4 million.
I'll go for 3 million.
How many have never used? I know it's just used. Okay.
Yeah, that's... yeah, sorry, then, yeah, if it was how many have never used, then we'd be fighting over D. I genuinely love that you had to, like, take a moment to be like, does it say how many have never used? Let me just,
Okay, right, so next question Michael will answer.
I see, so we don't find out. Okay, that's fun, yeah, okay.
Until the end.
That's what I said before.
I wasn't listening.
Okay. What is the approximate average IQ of a Polish person?
Well, it's definitely lower than average. Oh, sorry.
No, well, Dylan, read out the options.
I forgot.
Is it 105, 100, 95, or 90?
Well, look. So as far as I know, 100 is literally the average. Like, isn't 100 defined as the average
on a bell curve? IQ.
Yeah. So and 100 is the midpoint of the bell curve. So that, yeah, there's no way. I'm gonna go 95 though. I don't think it's so bad for them. No, also, that will force Dylan to either say B or D, which is fine.
No, I'm going 100. I think they're kind of like... But, you know, they're good workers. I think you need intelligence to be a good worker. It makes sense the average IQ of a Polish person would be average. You know, that's... I'm sure the average IQ of someone from any country is 100. You know, it's
That's good logic there, Dylan, yeah. Okay,
can I ask, by the way, right, have you seen the image on the left?
Oh, yeah, like it's just a Polish guy.
AI.
Well, he's missing a hand.
It is because he's missing out. But do you get the reference that I made?
Those poles screwing a light. How many poles does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's clever.
Cool.
You've heard of that joke.
Well, I don't actually know that. Wait, how many poles does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Well, yeah, how many Polish people does it take to fix a light bulb?
I don't know.
Well, it's just one because they're efficient workers.
No, obviously there's a joke. What is? I actually don't, because I know the joke. How many? Like there's several variants of it. I know how many policemen does it take to screw in a light bulb. They just
there's this racial stereotype particularly prevalent in the United States that Polish people aren't that smart.
Okay.
So therefore this joke, how many poles does it take to screw a light bulb? You know, that's a, you know.
Is there an answer though?
Well, I mean, it's probably not one.
I mean, it probably is one though. In reality, like, I mean, obviously the punchline's going to be a different number. But if we're like,
yeah, well, it's a joke that doesn't. I think this joke we need to work on a punchline for this joke though. Yeah, because I think it's a bit unsatisfying for the joke. Just probably more than one.
I think the punchline is just going for a humorously
next question
high number.
Yes, I agree, Michael.
Yeah, I think that you made a mistake here. I think A, B, C, and D. I think those are supposed to be the answers to how many poles it takes to screw in a light bulb.
1 point to Michael.
Wow.
That was the.
I would say it takes 105 poles. 104. They just couldn't quite get the hang of it.
Great. See, that's the kind of racism we like to see.
Question 3, please, Luke.
Right, question 3.
Oh.
When you're ready.
It's up for me sooner than it's up for Dylan, apparently.
I just have difficulty getting it up. Yeah, you beat me to it. Lovely. It's still not there.
Really? I mean, I can read it if you
maybe
like.
Maybe you need to go to the doctors. You know?
Yeah, maybe you need to go to the doctor. You got delayed.
Maybe you should read it, Michael, because I've not got it in. Oh, there it is. How many more... Question 3. How many more males are there in China than females? Is it 51 million, 41 million, 31 million, or 21 million? I mean, even 21 million is ridiculously higher number of males to females, because obviously they like dump all their girl babies in the river. Because
that's what they do.
Yes.
But I mean, 21 million is still a ridiculously high number. Therefore, I think it's right, and it's trying to get us to say as a high number as possible. So I'm going to go with D, because I think D's... Actually, no, you don't want to be right, though. No, but I'm going to try and be right. I'm going to say it's D.
Michael?
You know, I was exactly agreeing with Dylan's logic. Like, I know this is a thing that everyone knows about China, but I feel like just because it's a thing that everyone knows, it's like when people talk about, like, the 4B movement in South Korea, and it's like, oh, I guess, like... But it's like, it's not actually a huge thing. So I'm going to go... I would have gone D, but I'll go for C. Because, yeah, I think even though it is significant, I actually don't think... Like, because that's still significant enough to be of note.
That's a ridiculously high... Like, that's going to I suppose they've got billions of people, so
That's
but even
21 million incels.
Yeah, it's a lot of incels, man. Well, it could be 51 potentially.
Oh, they don't have gays in China, though, do they?
No, they don't. The famous
What's the, you know that Lily Phillips OnlyFans person?
Oh yeah.
She should go to China, and it would be easier for her because the cocks will be tiny.
Okay.
So like, I can take 10 of them at once.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
How many Hispanics are unemployed in the United States, not including illegal immigrants?
Not including, okay.
4.3 million, 3.3 million, 2.3 million, or 1.3 million.
Okay.
It's Michael to answer first.
It is me to answer first, yes. Now, I don't have as much of a strong opinion on this because, again, I'm not completely sure what the unemployment rate is like in general in the United States. My understanding is it's the illegal immigrants are the ones who do all of the hard work. You know, they're rapists, they're murderers, they're drug dealers. Those are some pretty demanding jobs. So I don't know how many jobs are left for the documented. Also, like once they're documented, that's when they can actually get the welfare, right? Like they're like, hey, this is what it was all about, man. So maybe at that point they do become unemployed. I'm gonna go for I'll go for 3.3 million B.
Okay, Dylan.
Again, I think it's one of those things to try and get us to do the highest number possible. To look at how racist you are. You thought it was 4.3 million when it's actually 1.3 million. You know, I see through you, Luke. That's why I'm going.
Stop fucking saying I see through you, or just fucking answer the question.
No, I think actually it's very important that both of us just try and get into the psychology of Luke and answer based on that, just so there's no sense in which we're implicating our own racism.
Like, is there such a massive deal between 4.3 and 1.3?
You know, because there's a stereotype that Hispanic people are lazy.
Oh, is there?
And they...
Oh, is there? I didn't know. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
But, you know, I don't think it's a true stereotype. That's what I'm going to go for. One, which, again, is still quite a lot of people. 1.3 million.
Yeah, that's still a lot of people. Like, you could, solve a lot of problems.
They're still pretty fucking lazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the AI image, I don't know if you know, obviously.
Home Depot, yeah.
What does it say on his shit?
Yeah, that looks like, so it looks like it's a AI slop.
Yeah, AI slop. I don't know, like, I just told them to a Hispanic guy outside of Home Depot, because they just hang around outside of Home Depot, you know, looking for, not for work for sure, looking, I don't know, for something else, but yeah.
Yes. So clever, you can just do that now.
Yeah, it's great.
Looking for mamacitas.
Right, question number 5 then.
Approximately how many Indians each year die of diarrhea?
Ooh.
Is it 832,000?
This is an interesting question. This is a tough one.
832,000, 732,000, 632,000, or 532,000? I don't think it's too much to argue that it probably is actually the highest number of 832,000.
Yeah. I'm ashamed to admit, Luke, I didn't notice this until just now. It hasn't, the slide hasn't appeared for me yet. So could you just go forward and backwards, please?
Fucking hell, this is so gay.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay, so I'll go for B. Actually, you know what? No. I'm actually going to go for C.
Okay, right. I love how you're being very specific about this, but yeah. Do people like the AI image, by the way?
It's a very good
one.
Well,
it's inaccurate because they don't have toilets like that.
I was about to say the same thing.
I needed to communicate the diarrhea without, but I couldn't. I couldn't just say it like shitting in a river, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think the issue isn't the toilets; it's the lack of good drinking water. It's a problem in India. But let's see if you get that right. So let's go on to question number 6, Dylan.
Question 6 on its way.
It's now appeared for me.
Not yet.
Okay,
just do back and forward.
Now,
yeah,
I've still got Raj. There we go. Oh, God.
That's a top tier photo.
Did Boris Johnson commission this image?
There you go.
Yeah. What percentage of Muslim women in the UK? What percentage of Muslim women in the UK struggle to speak English? 42%, 32%, 22%, or 12%?
This is me, right? I'm first.
Yeah, Michael.
Yes.
Sorry, Michael first.
Okay, so it's interesting this word struggle, because this could be like a self-reported thing where, and you've got to bear in mind a lot of them live in Bradford, and Even the white people there can't speak English.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to speak English. I'll just go for B, 32%.
Okay, B.
It's
Dylan?
quite funny, actually.
Yeah.
I
See,
was
the thing is
thinking-
here, with the percentages, this is a big difference. Like 12% to 42%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I was actually going to go for B, but I'll have to go for a different one. I mean, you get a lot of them from boats, as my racist friend tells me. But
That's true.
apparently most people on the boats are men, so Muslim women is the question. That's why it's probably a lower number. So that's why I'm going to go for 22%.
Okay.
That's some good reasoning,
I
actually. That's
don't
pretty
really
clever.
know if I get the logic.
No, I understand. That's really smart.
Okay. Just because a lot of Muslim men arrive on boats, so
Yes, exactly.
that means the Muslim women can definitely speak English.
Because
pretty well,
apparently
okay.
the people on boats make no effort to learn the language. You see.
That's it, yeah.
Despite paying
Yeah, he's right.
£10,000 of their own money to get here, they don't make any effort to...
Yeah,
Right,
it's
yeah.
pretty pathetic of them.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite AI image, to be honest.
Yeah, that is
Or
the
the
best one.
letterbox person.
Yeah. Right.
Was it? He said they look like letterboxes and bank robbers, I think.
Yeah. All right, question 7 now.
Right. Despite being just 13% of the US population,
Okay.
African Americans are responsible. African Americans are responsible for what percentage of arrests of murder charges? Is it A, 92%, B, 72%, C, 52%, and D, 32%? I actually think it is a really high number, but obviously that's there's a problem there because if George Floyd had been white, the police would have just left him alone.
That's true. Yeah.
There is that. I kind of part of me thought it was 92. That just seems far too high to be correct, which is why I'm going to go for 72. But I don't know. But part of me has heard somewhere like 92. But no, 92.
What, from your racist friend?
Oh, he was annoyed.
Where does that number keep cropping up? 92% of all murders in the
We're
United
watching like
States.
this advert break. It's like, black people only make up 3% of the population and half the adverts.
Oh yeah, that's what my wife pointed out as well. We were like watching.
American.
Yeah, we watched the TV. We were watching, the old terrestrial TV, the box. We don't usually watch commercials, see, because we're watching our Netflix. But we decided, let's just veg out and watch what the the goy slop for the normies. and then we were like about halfway through the adverts, and I was like, there's like way more black people on your adverts than there are actually in your country.
Yeah, you don't live in an area with a lot of black people there.
Well, it depends how broad. I'd say the southeast has a lot of black people.
No, but not your. You have a lot of Asians, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we've got a lot of the good Asians too, like the Chinese.
The good. Oh right, good stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
so
The smarter ones.
so just to Dylan, you answered B.
B. I'll go for B.
Michael, what's your answer?
So I'll go for C because I do think A would be ridiculous. Unlike Dylan, who thinks that A would be high, and I think he specifically said not because they're unfairly profiled by the police and more likely to be accused, but specifically because that's the actual amount that they commit. I don't agree with that.
Wow, Dylan, that's a strong statement.
I can't believe he said that. That's crazy.
That's great. By the way, Mike, I'm just looking. You've gone for B or C in every single answer. So
Me?
far.
Yeah.
You're playing it very
Way to
safe.
sit on the fence, Michael.
I
Don't
do
sit
feel
on
like
the
it.
fence when I
Okay,
challenge
Hope you
you.
don't get any splinters sitting on that fence.
I know. I do feel like a bit of a faggot ass bitch.
Okay, right. Question 8 now.
What is the approximate average length of a Japanese male's erect penis?
Okay, lowest one. Oh yeah, actually yeah. Oh,
Is it 6 inches, 5.5 inches, 5 inches, or 4.5 inches?
D. Final answer.
Okay.
Well, actually,
D for their D's.
I think I heard somewhere that the actual average length is 5.5 inches, just in general, and there's no reason why a Japanese man would have a.
It would have a large. It would have larger than like a proper man.
Also, people lie on these surveys. Like, is anyone actually coming in and actually measuring their erect penises? Like, I don't think so. That's why I'm happy to go for B. Because, again, I don't think anyone's coming in and actually measuring them. It's like, hang on, you'll say you'll have 7-inch penis.
Well, let it be shown if Dylan gets if Dylan gets a point for not being if Dylan gets a point for not being racist, let it be shown that he only thought that it was higher because they're lying. It wasn't like, oh, I think they might actually be bigger than everyone says. He's like, no, some people lie. Also, I like that Such a sad Japanese guy with the measuring
do you like
tape.
the image? You see, by the way, he's got the tape measure.
Yeah. If I were
He's just measured something. He's not happy about it.
That's good. That's good.
Right, question 9 now.
Question 9. Feeling fine. Question 9. Hi. What percentage of sub-Saharan Africans are illiterate? That means can't read. Is it?
That's a funny joke.
Is it? Is it A 74%, B 54%, C 34%, or D 14%? Big. But then again, Sub-Sahara is the place with like the mud huts and that, so that makes
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
You know, it's not their own fault. They probably aren't being taught to read until people like Mr. Beast.
It's not their own fault. Yeah.
Until people like Mr. Beast come in and build wells and skills for them.
Did you not like read by pulling yourself up by your bootstraps? You know, just open the book one day and just look at the words and work it out yourself.
Well, didn't we like, because obviously the British Empire was very good for them because we bought schools and like education and stuff like that. And my understanding is that they accidentally got rid of us. Whoops.
But I mean, the other thing is, at the youth centre, like half of the youth can't read, and they're like from a quite affluent area, so there is that as well. That makes me think it maybe is a high. It's probably not as high as 74%, because I say like you've got like wells and schools and stuff, but then maybe the people at the schools can't read either.
That's a good point.
It's a good point.
This is smart reasoning. I like it.
Why not? Let's just go 74%, and we'll because that's actually saying that 26% can read.
Well done. You can tell you like maths, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan, I think we should do this question for you. So wait, what did Dylan say? He said 34%. Oh, he said A. Okay. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go radically the other way. I'm gonna say D. I'm gonna say only 14% of them can't read.
It's like someone
I'm saying they've made progress. Look, we're entering an ebony era, and I'm here for it.
Just for you. That's the era you're in.
Yes. Oh boy.
Right. Okay. So, any thoughts on the image? Do you like it?
I like it. Because it's one of the 26% of readers, which is, or maybe
he's just looking at the book. You don't know.
Maybe it's a picture book. You know, it could be that as well, I suppose.
It could just be a picture book. Right. Okay. So question 10 now.
It's the last one.
Well, tell me if you can see it.
Question 10. Here we go. Here we go. How many Jewish people were apparently killed in the Holocaust?
Oh, that's actually a tough one.
Yeah. Was it A, 6 million? I'm not laughing at A, by the way. Is it B, 250,000? C, 150,000, or D? I was part of me was thinking, why is D that specific number? It's like, oh yeah, now I know why. Or D, 97.
So, Michael, you are the first to guess, which means you will have the first pick of the answers.
Yes, I will say I like the photo because of course it's that's a louse, right?
Yes.
And it's because obviously we know that Hitler built a lot of delousing chambers in order to stop the spread of typhus because he was worried that even as many as 97 Jews could die.
Yes.
Now, can I clarify this? Because I don't want to look retarded. The 97, that's a joke about Hillsborough, right?
Well, I don't know what. Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. Obviously, it's also the number that died. But no, I think. See, this is a tough one because you've said that I can't go down the middle.
Like, you'd like to go down.
Yeah, like I'm in a really tough situation. I mean,
Dylan might be in a tougher situation.
Yeah, how many Jewish people were apparently killed in the Holocaust? Yeah, well, you said that like I need to stop going down the middle, and I don't think so. 97, I know it was the Hillsborough, so I guess obviously, I suppose, I guess A. I mean, I've got to go for A. 6 million. Dylan, what do you think?
Well, what's your guess, Dylan? How many people do you think were killed in the Holocaust?
Well, look, this is the thing. You said how many people, because
that's a good point.
I think because I know for a fact that 6 million people did die in the Holocaust, but they weren't just Jewish people in the camps. They'd be like
that's a good point. They were gays.
Roma,
although those were just the kids who'd been turned that way by the Jews.
That's it. You got
like a lot of people say there were gays in the camps. What they don't realize is that was the Jews saying, "I would like to show you some pornography I made with my Sheckelstein company."
But yeah, you've got You got like gays, Roma, which is gypsies, political opponents, trans people. Obviously, 6 million people died, but they weren't all Jewish. So that's why I'll go for the second highest number, which is 250,000.
Okay, wow. So Dylan thinks that 250,000 Jews were killed in the Holocaust. I'll remember that, Dylan.
6
Okay,
million
I think everyone should
people,
remember that.
250,000 Jewish people.
That's actually a really important distinction. I think a lot of Jews would appreciate you making that distinction.
I love that. Yeah. So, Dylan, yeah. So okay, I love that. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Holocaust happened, but just not to the Jews. They don't get to complain.
It wasn't. I think the Jewish was the biggest ethnic group that were killed.
How
by
many
it,
ethnic groups are there? If only 250,000 died and 6 million.
Yeah, there were 6 million other ones, but Jews were the majority.
They have ethnic groups like
a
Pokemon.
lot of people.
There are so many of them.
It would actually be a plurality. Because
I have to say, I was trying to do a thing throughout this quiz, and I messed up on question 2 and question 8. So if you go back and listen, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense, what you said on the next slide, and you're like, question 2 and 8 don't match what the next slide says, I understand, but I have rectified that with my results.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so anyway, let's read the next slide. Dylan, if you will.
Right, it's answer time. Okay, so this is Michael. You're telling Michael off. Okay, all the correct answers were the C option. Option 10 is debatable. Really? I have been calculating. I have been calculating how many times you both selected the A and B options. If you pick the A and B options, you are more racist. If you pick the D option, you weren't that racist. That's debatable for the last one though. Surely, like, picking A is the least racist of all of them. But you said option 10 is debatable. Okay.
Yeah, question 10 doesn't count. That was a joke.
You get 2 racist points for the A option, 1 racist point for the B option. I think I did pick A quite a lot of times. 0 racist points for the C option, and -1 racist point. I did pick D a few times for the D option. So the person with the most racist points, and therefore the most racist, is.
So I'll just go through. So yeah, basically, Dylan, you selected the A option 3 times.
Okay,
so
that's
you were
quite bad. That
very racist 3 times, but you also selected the D option 3 times as well.
That nearly cancels it out, but doesn't quite.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, basically, Dylan, overall, you scored 4 points, and so yeah, you get 4 racist points. So
so I never selected B then. I think I selected B in the last one.
You selected B once, but again,
question 10
so
that gets
count.
That's 3 + 1. Okay, 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So your points were 2 -1 -1 2 1 -1 2. So overall that makes 4.
So I picked
Michael,
C quite a lot of times.
Yes.
I think we should go for majority, a majority vote instead of a.
Well, you haven't heard what Michael's got, Dylan.
Yeah.
Because Michael, do you think you've got more or less racist points than Dylan?
I think I got more racist points.
Michael, you ended on 5 racist points. So that means you are the most racist. So congratulations, Michael.
He wins money though, doesn't he?
Yeah, give him a round of applause.
I win money.
Next time I see you, I'll hand over.
I win some gold teeth.
Michael kept selecting B and C, so C got him 0 points, but B kept him getting him 1 point.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and then for question 8, he selected the most racist option, which I should have ordered better. Like that's what I was saying with question 8 and 2. So yeah, overall that's 5 points for him. So
so on question 8 and 2 you got the wrong way around. So you just fixed it now. So
I have
get
fixed
redubbed as A's, and any A's will get redubbed as D's.
I'm not redubbing anything. I'm not editing anything. It's just gonna have to. Don't worry. I've done the calculations properly. This is correct. So Michael, how do you feel? You're the most racist between you and Dylan.
It feels good. It feels like I'm finally seen. I've always, like, every single time that Dylan said my racist friend, I've always twinged a bit because I thought, do you mean you only have one? So to see this, so to get this result coming in has made everything so much better. Yes,
big for you. Yes.
So,
yes.
Do you think you'll be voting Reform UK in the next election?
Well, honestly, I think I'm probably going to vote Green because they're the real racists. You know, like
That's a good point.
Because they're racist against the most. Well, they're racist against the most oppressed minority of all, which is the Jews.
Yeah, who wants to do their topics first?
I want Dylan to go first because I was thinking Dylan never goes first.
Dylan's going to go first.
Dylan's going to go first.
Even though my topic is pretty good.
Well, you know what's great is a lot of you talking about how much you love doing like scripts and role plays and that. So that's what I've got for us to do.
Actually, you know what? I'm okay with that because it's got to be tight. It's got to be a tight one.
Yeah. So this is AI assisted, but I still really like it. I find it really funny. This is kind of what I've been doing over the Christmas time. So essentially, I'll put it all in the chat. So scroll to the top, obviously, so you can't read it all. I've put the characters that we're playing in the script. Did you read my thing on Christmas Day, by the way? Because that's not going to be in it. But I just wanted you to. I'll give you a bit of context. What happened was Gary.
I can see fucking Erling Haaland. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Gary Lineker came to Alan Shearer's. He's like, "Oh, Gary, you've come to surprise me on Christmas Day." Then he locks him in the basement and it's like, "Will you watch Paw Patrol with me, Gary?" And he's like, "I'm gonna do it, Gary."
You've only got 10 minutes here.
Right, let's do this. So we're all happy with the characters we're playing. So
yes, I am. Maybe okay.
So when you see those characters come up, that's who you are.
If this is finished in 10 minutes, Dylan, I will give you 10 points. No,
it's not going to finish in 10
But there's no way this is finishing in 10 minutes.
It's going to finish in 10. We're going to do it quickly, right?
Koglu. Okay, wait. Officer. Oh God, Officer Detective.
Any officer.
One.
Right, let's do it.
Noel Gallagher. There are so many characters here.
Shearer's pitch invasion. It's the Etihad Stadium. Premier League clash between Man City and Tottenham Hotspur. The game is in full swing when a familiar bold figure dressed in a match-of-the-day blazer strides onto the pitch. I didn't have a I'll be the commentator. Unbelievable scenes here as Alan Shearer. Yes, that's Alan Shearer's invaded the pitch. What on earth is he doing?
Oh, Gary, if you're watching, please don't leave Match of the Day. It won't be the same without you, Gary. I'll do anything, Gary. Just say the word. The crowd murmurs in confusion as players gather round. Ange Postecoglou and Pep Guardiola approach Shearer, each looking equally baffled.
Michael, member Australian. Let's.
Alan, mate, I get it. Friendship's important, but this is a Premier League game, not a therapy session. We're disrupting the flow.
Oh, Gary wouldn't just leave without me saying how I feel. Friendships matter, Ange.
Friendship is important, Alan, but so is respect. You have to respect the game. Gary knows you can't trust me. He does.
Oh, Gary, I'm not leaving until he knows how much he means to me. Oh, he's just saying, "Oh, Gary" in front of everything. Okay.
He always says, "Oh, Gary." Yeah.
What's football without loyalty?
Loyalty's great, but it's not about making a big show of it, Alan. Sometimes being a good friend means letting them go. Gary's got his own journey, mate. So I made him sound a bit too.
Shit.
That was like Cockney instead of Australian.
This is so fucking shit.
Exactly. He wouldn't want you to ruin a match just to prove your points. You love football, yes? Let us play. That's the best way to honour him.
Oh, Gary, maybe you're right. Maybe I have been selfish. But it's just so hard, you know?
We get it, mate, Alan. Sorry, we get it, Alan. But the best friendships are built on trust. Trust Gary to make the right decision for himself and for you.
The crowd erupts in applause as Alan makes his way off the field. Just as the referee prepares to restart the game, a squad of police officers storms onto the pitch.
It's okay, officer. Alan was just leaving, wasn't he?
We're here to actually arrest you, Pet, and the entire Manchester City team for 130 serious financial fair play breaches.
What? No, this has to be a mistake. We've sorted everything.
As the City players are led off the pitch in handcuffs, Ange Postecoglou pats Shearer on the back.
See, Alan, sometimes it's not about the drama you bring. Someone else will always take care of that.
What the fuck is this, man?
Others get arrested and sentenced, including Mika Richards and the Gallagher brothers.
I'm Detective 1.
Mr. Richards, do you realise you've been charged with playing for Manchester City during their 130 serious FFP breaches?
Come on, lads, it's just a game. Football, bit of fun.
That's retarded Mika Richards. You've been found guilty of financial fair play breaches. That's 130 years in prison.
130? That's a lifetime.
Noel and Liam Gallagher are mid-argument when police burst through the door.
Noel Gallagher, Liam Gallagher, you're under arrest for being Glory fans.
Oh, Michael, you're also Noel Gallagher. Make sure
Glory fans, I've been City all my life, mate.
Oh, sorry, shit, I've lost where I am.
You're Prove It. What was the name of Manchester?
So I'm a different character now.
Yeah, you're
Officer
2.
Yeah. You're not Detective 2, you're just Officer 2.
I hate that that's a difference.
Right, mate, Prove It. What was the name of Manchester City's previous stadium before the Etihad?
Both brothers exchanged confused glances.
The City Arena.
Main something.
This is you, Michael.
Oh, sorry.
So bad.
Man rolled you. You're frauds. You'll both serve life sentences.
This is a fix. I wrote Wonderwall.
This is so shit, honestly.
Interior prison yard. Dave, Roy Keane surveys the yard, arms crossed, watching inmates play football. Nico attempts to do a step over but trips. The Gallaghers argue on the sidelines. Jack Grealish brags about lobster while Phil Foden nervously dribbles the ball.
There's so much left.
What's it like to pass?
So I'm Roy Keane here.
Yes, you are, yeah.
Soft. They're all soft.
He turns to Sir Alex Ferguson, the warden.
They need discipline. I'm signing up as a guard.
Prison cafeteria. Erling Haaland sits at a table with Jack Grealish, Kyle Walker and Phil Foden. Jack is poking at his food.
This isn't lobster. Where's the Dom Perignon?
Michael. Right?
Oh God, who am I? Phil?
Just
or am I Phil Foden? All right. It's prison food. Hey, is he Northern or Southern? I don't know.
He's not. He's from Manchester.
Oh, it's prison food, Jack. Just eat it. I know it made him sound brummy, but who cares?
I only drink the best, mate. Why would I want peasant stuff?
Stay humble, Jack. Stay humble. That was my early.
Oh God, so I'm Kyle as well.
You're Kyle Walker.
He's Yorkshire. Yeah.
Mate, if I hear "stay humble" one more time, I'm gonna humble you with this pillow.
Yeah, stay humble.
Phil looks uncomfortable as Jack ruffles his hair.
Who's a good little lad,
I forgot to say there's this running gag where everyone treats Phil like he's like 10.
A running gag. We've got a minute left.
Roy Keane stands before the guards. Vinnie Jones, Michael McIntyre, and Scruffy the dog in a tiny uniform.
Listen up. This prison is a shambles. No more lobster talk. No more stay humble. And stop babying Foden.
That's actually really good.
Oh God. How does Vinnie Jones sound again?
Is
he like Northern?
Rough Cockney.
Oh, am I? Cockney. No, I can't do it. I'm with you, Roy. There we go.
Does this mean no more champagne in the broom cupboard?
McIntyre, if I hear one more joke out of you, you'll be cleaning the toilets for a month.
Roy assembles the inmates.
Oh my God. There's still so much.
I'm like...
Okay, you're in prison, not a holiday camp. If you think you're getting special treatment...
Oh, thank God.
I just said it. If you think you're getting special treatment, think again. Foden, stop letting them treat you like a child. Grealish, no lobster. Haaland, stay humble. That's it. Everyone back to the cells. Now. Soft, but maybe, just maybe, there's hope for them yet.
That's the camera pan.
Okay, well, that's it. I'm not doing anymore. Right, Dylan, what the fuck is the point? This is like the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, genuinely, like, this is so bad.
I love this so much. And we didn't get to Roy's pep talks for Phil. He's like,
we'll
says Phil,
do that next week.
You've got the makings of a fine prisoner, lad. You know, it's like he takes on the role of a mentor. You know, it's
why is Roy Keane in jail?
No, he's a guard. Yeah, it's
okay.
really funny.
Okay.
I really enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Luke, can you?
I'm just trying to like this is the whole thing of Gary, Alan Shearer, and then the prison. Like it's the so first bit had no connection to the rest.
No, well, it's because they get arrested. It's like The Simpsons, so they do like this first opening act where something happens.
Yeah, it's just like The Simpsons,
like to set up.
Right, let's rate the topic. Let's rate. So, Michael will be giving the first rating.
So, not only was it not funny, except for insofar as how ridiculous it wasn't funny. And not only was it completely disconnected and disjointed, but the fact is that in it being so disconnected and disjointed, it didn't need to be as long as it was, because you could have just had, instead of, when you realise you've only got 10 minutes, you might think to yourself, hey, let's not have a story that spans multiple different locations with characters radically changing. And that just makes it all the more offensive how long it was. I'm content to give this a 1. And well, also I will say one other thing, because you said it's AI assisted. I don't even feel bad about the fact that I mean, you probably put some effort into it, but I'm just going to assume this whole thing was written by AI as a favor to you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, look, there were so many issues with this. I mean,
it is quite funny though in a meta way.
That's why it should be either a 1.
Like the fact that you had like Michael McIntyre, a fan favorite.
I'm not going to give it a 1, but there was just so many issues. Like the first thing is obviously it's not funny. It's just AI slop. It's just like shitty AI slop, and that's it. and then we have the fact that it's very long, and of course you have like when I try to do these things, I try to make sure no one talks right after each other. Like you do a character and then somebody else does a character, but constantly that wasn't the case.
I was hoping that'd be the case, but there's so many characters that it's gonna happen.
Don't put so many fucking
just to
characters
interrupt, by the way. I will say, Dylan, to be fair, this is more of a bewildered one than an angry one. I don't want you to think I'm seriously. I'm just confused.
I thought when we did a list, it just wasn't funny. Like it was just like all like okay, but again on a meta level, it's kind of funny. So that's why I'm going to give it a 4.
A 4.
You get points for that.
I'm actually giving this a 9 because I actually really enjoy the topic. I'm not going to be influenced by what other people say. That's
clearly
not.
not.
That's my New Year's resolution for this year. But I actually really enjoy
That's the first. We have a 9 and we have a 1. I don't think we've ever seen a discrepancy.
I gave myself a higher score than you two gave me combined.
Yes, almost double what we gave you.
That's it, yeah.
All right, okay. Michael, do you want to go next?
Oh God. I mean, sure, why not? I'll go next. Something I've decided to do, just to keep myself accountable, is to make a little PowerPoint for every single topic, but sometimes it's just going to be one PowerPoint. So here you can see it's just one PowerPoint. It was just one slide. And that's all it is, but it's just a visual aid. I saw this on twitter.com, and it was basically, what do Britons say has been the biggest event of the last 25 years? Because it is, I don't know if you know, it's 2025. It's 25 years, a quarter of a century. So I saw this.
I like there's a don't know option, and 10 people went for that.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we'll just. So I'll explain what this is. Basically, we'll go through what it says, and then I was going to say, what do we think is the most significant event? So yeah, I don't think this is necessarily going to be hilarious, but feel free to find the comedy. Yeah. I mean, all the people who said Brexit are like the most. Well, it's like either way, they're the most annoying people. Either they're people like, yeah, it's when we got our freedom, or they're people like, oh, it's when we had to forfeit our holiday home.
Well, you've got 2 different sides on Brexit, don't you? So there's that.
Yeah. And look, I don't want people to think that I'm some bleeding heart, but I genuinely think that Gaza and what's happening there could be the most significant, biggest event of the last 25 years, because we're watching a Holocaust, a genocide, an ethnic cleansing unfold on national television. I think that the significance there is not just in terms of the material impact, or even the kind of the moralistic impact in terms of what's being done, but in terms of what it says about the human condition.
What's going on in Gaza probably is a much more horrific and significant than that, but obviously the lack of media coverage of that is why only one edgelord has voted for that above the 7 people that have been brainwashed by the BBC.
Yeah, by Zelensky and his not giving enough money. I mean, to be fair, like, you never know. Maybe they're like, oh, it's the biggest problem because of all that money, all those people who starved because we couldn't get any. Froze because they couldn't get any Russian gas. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, obviously it's racist as well that people are like, oh yeah, Russian invasion of Ukraine. And I was like looking, I was like, does this say like what was the most significant to Britain? But no, it's like British people saying it.
I'd say the biggest event, certainly for everyday people,
was COVID-19.
Has been the 2008 financial crisis.
Oh yeah, okay. I suppose that's the other question, because is it we talk? Sorry, not to interrupt you, but like, are we talking about how long it lasted, or because like COVID was very concentrated?
Literally, wages still haven't recovered.
Yeah, exactly.
2008, like it was just a massive event which proved that the whole economic consensus, the whole economic order was complete fucking. It was built on nothing. There's no foundations, and it collapsed. And what we have been left with after that is, of course, an incredibly deep recession, which still has ramifications today, and we still have, not recovered from properly. So yeah, that has affected everyone in the West. It's affected everything.
Yeah.
It's affected the uptake in immigration. You can explain like Donald Trump and Brexit because of that. The uptake in people being concerned about immigration. Yeah, Trump and
yes, it has lots of knock-on effects.
Yeah, again, the knock-on effects have been significant.
Yeah, I would say the only thing about 2008 financial crash, and I'm not disagreeing, I'm just, let's say, substantiating. I feel like you could argue that it's kind of just fallen into the background of like the monotony of everything, and also because obviously it's a fundamental feature of the capitalist system. In some sense, like crash
massive,
smash.
But it's
credit crunch, schmedit schmunch.
It was the biggest for 80 years since the Great Depression.
Since the Depression. Yeah, which is crazy because it's kind of also funny because like when I was a kid, I didn't really feel like I noticed it, except we had to pull out of the private school. But I mostly blame Keir Starmer for that. I mean that is actually a very strong case. I think I get what you're saying about you can't really say like Brexit when the financial crisis was like the cause of Brexit.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, let us now get into the ratings. So, Michael, if you will.
I'm going to give it an 8. I do think it was an interesting discussion. But yeah.
8, yeah. I mean, I think it was kind of interesting, but not that interesting, like not funny. So for me, that's like a 6.
Okay.
I appreciate the effort you put in with the the various datas. So that makes it.
I understand.
Good. Dylan.
Well, look, I've decided I'm going to take on the role of an audience surrogate character. So I'm the mouthpiece for the audience.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like you said like 2 separate things because at first you were like, my resolution is to not be affected by you guys, and now you're saying like your resolution is to be the audience. And by the way, Dylan, just for record, with that said, you think the audience would have been listening to your topic and been like, yes,
this is 9. Yeah.
All right, I mean, yeah, I'm happy with this. Although I do think the audience does come in for serious political discussion.
I don't know, Michael. Look, if I'm honest, I found it quite boring. In terms of effort, I mean, you've just found a slide off the internet. That's why I'm just going to give it a 5.
Oh, just for record, I didn't find the slide off the internet. I actually, I found some independent data from the internet, and I combined it together. I would just like that on the record. So, 6.
5.5 that rounds down to a 5.
Okay, good.
But that's still 5 times higher than what you gave us. So and it's not really for that. I didn't.
No, yeah, Dylan, I don't think you'd ever be. I don't think you'd. Yeah, Dylan. It didn't even occur to me you'd be being vindictive.
Okay, right. So let's get into my topic.
Who's in the lead at the moment? Just out of interest.
It's Michael, obviously. Should I reflect on what happened in our house in January with the So I think I'll be doing a series. And this
you can't monopolize those topics. So I don't.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, I know.
I'm going to take you through stage by stage what happened. What happened in January?
My topic's part 2.
So okay, right. Let's talk about, of course.
For the record, I have no idea what we're talking about right now.
No, all the stuff that went on in our house. In our house we lived in the first year, and then I
don't know about first year. This is probably gonna be a low. The house. So you do the house, not the.
Oh, you mean the first year in together in the house?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Carlton Avenue.
Carlton.
Oh, good. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Beep.
Yeah.
Oh, when we lived at beep.
We lived at Atlanta Falcons.
So do you remember? It would have been in December actually, when we were looking at the new house, which was on Hezzy Lane.
Yes.
And do you? Okay, so obviously there was a bad room that nobody wanted, which was Dylan's room.
Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, yeah. You're gonna.
But do you remember how we decided the?
I remember all the intimate details of this.
It was a rigged lottery.
Yeah, Dylan got rigged.
So that was part 2. But do you know what happened in part 1? I remember. I'm surprised you don't.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember everything. So I can tell because I was kind of the person like this is my story, right? This is my truth that belongs to my people. Which
I don't remember this. This is always fun.
Okay. So this is the thing, Dylan, because this is how you kind of got screwed over. Because I do think there was a legitimate argument to be made that I should have got the bad room because I think had the nicest room in second year, but. I said, yeah. So I think I actually am possibly willing to admit that I should have got the bad room. But I said, all right, guys, I've got to go to.
Yeah. So just to set the scene, we were all having a discussion.
Yeah, a house meeting.
Yeah, a house meeting, and we couldn't decide, of course, who kept the bad. Everyone was saying, no, I'm not having the bad room. My argument, I think, was again, I didn't have the best room. It shouldn't be me. And I think. Dylan,
I'm hoping that I made the strongest argument because I actually had the worst room in that house. In that.
Yes. So then Michael was like, "Okay, I've got to go."
Yeah, I would say my very modest case was 1, I owned a lot of books, and 2, I did have and I'm not bragging him, I had a slightly higher record of hooking up with the ladies, and the small rooms were both single beds, and I was like, that was my only argument.
They weren't actually single beds, but I mean, the thing is as well, like, I didn't actually have that much stuff, so I suppose there is that.
Anyway, so basically,
all of these arguments were happening.
So you can just set the stage of like the argument. So anyway, and I was like, I've got to go to the seminar. Don't decide while I'm gone, because if you decide while I'm gone, then I would just assume that you've decided it because I was the only one who wasn't there to defend myself.
So without Michael there, the situation became a lot clearer. The answer became a lot clearer.
So easy allocating
And
rooms.
we arrived on a consensus that Michael should be the one.
Coincidentally, the one guy, I mean, like, that's the thing, like, I actually think I kind of agree with you that, yeah, you're right, it should have been me, but simultaneously, the way you phrase it, of like, oh, once Michael had left, suddenly we all realized exactly who should get the room.
Yeah,
so I was...
Jack, who was like, you know what, guys, I've been thinking about it a bit more. Michael's argument doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Anybody have any disagreements with that? And nobody spoke up. I'm like, yeah, you know what, Jack, I think you're right. I think Michael, actually, should get the worst room, you know? It was funny how quickly we came to the consensus.
Do you know what was really funny about that, by the way? That literally what we were doing in the seminar, because I did international relations, was a seminar on conflict resolution. So it was about like, so then I'm like there, like, oh, you know, what do you think how do you think these Israelis and these Palestinians are going to come up with a solution to their problem? And I get a text like, Michael, you're getting a small room. I'm like, fuck off.
Do you remember who said that?
Was it? In my head, I would think it was actually Jack, but was it you?
No, it was me.
It was you.
I don't know, Jack. I sent you that message, like, I'm sorry, Michael, we've decided you're going to get the small room or whatever. And then you replied as like, oh, I knew this would happen. Like, of course you've done this. And then you raced back. You know, you quit the seminar.
I quit. I dropped out of university. I said I ran out, and I remember what I said afterwards. Like, in a way, like, I was able to finagle things, because what I said was, then I was like, they were like, okay, we'll have a conversation, like, now that you're back. And I was like, no, because at this point I feel like you'll just pick it because the precedent has been set when I wasn't there, and I can't trust the even though
to argue your case.
I acted very indignant, even though 100% I actually do think there was a pretty strong argument. In fact, it should have been me, but I was like, no, because I don't trust that this wasn't just established in an illegitimate, underhanded way. It was kind of like, it was like basically I Donald Trumped it, to be fair.
And it wasn't like illegitimate. It wasn't. We actually did kind of think about it, and because you weren't arguing your case, it was like, okay, yeah, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, and then of course, so that the debate. We'll just wrap this up. So the debate, of course, is about this one room, and then there's this rigged. Dylan says it was rigged. This rigged thing, which we did the spinny thing. Yeah. And obviously, it got Dylan was the one who drew the short straw. To say
I was unhappy with the outcome is a bit of an understatement.
I was so happy. I'm so happy. Was like, do you remember, Mike? Because obviously you had been, you had almost got this bad room, and we went back to your room after the whole thing. Do you remember? And we just like laughed to each other, and we just like were so happy.
We like laughed maniacally.
Yeah.
We're like, yes! Especially because you basically got the exact same. So you literally got, by random choice, the exact corollary of the room you had in the first house, in the second house.
As well.
Yeah, exactly.
It was perfect for me, and you survived as well and got the top room, which you were happy about. And
that was the one I wanted. This one you got. Yeah.
But as it turns out, it wasn't so good. So, but that's how things go. But that was just a funny story. And
the other very small thing, and whatever, I don't know if you're over time, but I'll just say this now real quick. Is that Scott was like, oh, I'll swap rooms with you, Michael. So that was supposed to happen, but then it didn't, which doesn't really matter. Like, I didn't really care, but just so you know, like, that was Scott was like, oh, I'll swap rooms with you.
No, let's not give it a rating, Michael.
8. I think I could go 9, but like there are like more hilarious stories. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Yeah. So like, I'm not being critical, but 8. I'm
gonna give it a 7, Dylan.
Okay. Well.
I was thinking 8. Also, the fact you ended on a cliffhanger did a lot of but the fact that you've got potential for more of these as well as play. Why we'll keep it low.
I think so that.
It'd be a low 8.
One reason why I would rate it an 8 as well is because I'm Dylan and I are basically the main characters of that story. Like, Luke, like, basically it was really a story about me and Dylan. Like,
Yeah, it's just like unnamed housemate number 1 in this one.
Yeah. I also like how it's like Dylan was a very it's kind of sad because Dylan was like a very like non-active protagonist in it. Like, it's kind of, because I was going to say like it's kind of like, I mean, from my perspective, like, I'm the hero and Dylan's the evil villain, and Dylan tries to get me to have the terrible room, and like I resist it, but now like actually Dylan wasn't really Dylan was just a guy who stuff happened to.
Anyway, let us now do that final thought quickly, Dylan.
So I bought a vinyl record yesterday called Sounds Wasps Make, but I got home and played it and thought this doesn't sound anything like Wasps. But it turns out I was playing the B-side.
That's actually pretty great.
Michael.
Yeah, so I got a recent record, and it said sounds of students who get a grade that's just a little bit worse than they were expecting. And I thought, actually, these kids sound like they're very happy with this grade. Turns out I was playing it on the A side.
Ah.
That's good. Yeah, even though B side would have been kind of happy anyway. Next up is Super Seducer. So yeah, join us next time for Super Seducer. And yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye. I was going to say Guten Tag, but let's be honest, I've been saying that far too much recently.